this is. Okay. Comments will appear here. That'll be the day. We'll see if they do. Let's see. Because the plan, my hope is always to just have this going so I can see the comments, so I can have the video from here because it gets better camera, and then read the comments here. And this should do the trick. Yeah, as long as I can get over the inherent weirdness of watching myself on another camera. Jesus, we're starting with the fireworks early. Actually, that's not true. Where I lived on Long Island, where Kara and I lived on Long Island, the fireworks, we had people who did fireworks. Our neighbors did fireworks every night from usually May till about beginning of May to about October. So yeah, we live in a good part of Florida, man. We live in a part of Florida that's awesome, and it sucks that it's in Florida, but it's better in Long Island. It's better in a lot of places I've lived. That's for damn sure. Okay, I don't think anyone's watching yet. I got one too, so we're just futzing around until people file in. Maybe that's what we're doing. Yeah, I'll tell you what you could do for me, honey. Can you leave a comment? And then we'll see what happens. Slow connection. You're a slow connection. Yeah, one would think. You're so handsome. It's true. It's true in the eyes of a deeply unwell woman. I'm kidding. Oh no! Talk trash, your phone falls down. Okay, that's alright. We fix it. Oh no. Did we fix it? We gotta fix it. Ooh. Can't even fit in the camera. I swear. I'm pretty big these days, but I swear the camera adds 150 pounds. Okay, so by my count, we have one person here. That's alright. It's like I always say, repeatedly. If nobody shows up, then it's just, it's a fun video where I read some of the book, and then that document exists. Although I have to remember now, Facebook is deleting videos after 30 days if I understand that correctly. It's usually whatever, but I suppose I should keep some of them around. God forbid Facebook goes that extra mile for me. I understand, times are tough. Being incompetent takes a lot out of you. Alright, well, I'm going to wait. It's only 3 minutes in, and I'm not going to get a lot of reading done, per se, with the ferrets making noise. Because they will, until we let them out. And we're not letting them out until our housemate gets home. So, and they're super cool about it. They're not being, weird or anything. But, yeah, we'll show off this book a few times, but this is indeed why we're here tonight. We are reading We Have Waited Long Enough, which is such a cool title. I did not come up with it. It is a very cool title. It's got a bit of I've said this before, it's got a bit of a Raymond Carver, like what we talk about when we talk about love kind of vibe. And that, yeah, I like that. I'm a fan. Where are we at? Still one person. It's okay. I know. Like a minute ago, I was like, it's fine, and then I check again. But yeah, you get, you're live. It's like my energy goes up, my nervousness goes up, anxiety goes up. It's annoying. I always feel super frantic, right now. I don't know how it's being conveyed, but I feel like I'm just we will give it a couple more minutes. And then we'll assume that everyone hates me and no one's coming. I think that's healthy and fair and normal. Make sure we get all our stuff. Alpine Coast Press, I'll mention them again, probably somewhere in the course of tonight. They are the lovely people who put this book together. It's... What? Was what in all my socials? Yes. Yes, I told Instagram, I told Discord, and that's it. I've been trying to pare down my social media websites and usage. Not a judgment thing or a self-righteous thing. I just can't spend more than like 2 hours at a time on the internet now before I just like go crazy. Even being on for like half an hour gets pretty stressful, just inherently stressful. It's not necessarily what I'm doing or reading, just I get there and, you know, the stress starts. They get it. I'm just going to hit refresh a couple times too, but I do think this is coming through in real time, so there's that. They keep scratching like that. I'm going to keep reading, and then it's going to become a Nine Inch Nails song. That's how that works. Yeah, I'm excited to read this. I can't even believe I wrote this, you know, and that's just really just how fast everything just happened. Ooh, is that thunder? Are we gonna have a cozy stream, bro? But I don't know. I'm still kind of in a state of disbelief on this one. I think I always am when I work with Kevin Ridgway in particular. Like, we just have such a pleasurable experience working together. Like, I get to read new stuff by him. We get to read, you know, like, we're bouncing off each other. The energy is really good. We come up with some really cool stuff. We go in directions we didn't anticipate as writers. And it's fun. And we get to do readings together. We will be doing something for this, as well as the peerless James H. Duncan, sometime in the very near future. I don't know what's going on with that, but it is a thing, and it will happen. Okay, I did say. Trying to make sure I didn't like set the wrong time or something. I do want to give people a little time. I wasn't sure about the day before. Well, usually I do these on a Friday, and Friday just seemed impossible, you know. Just not a great day for a variety of reasons to schedule a reading. So I thought Thursday would be okay, and we'll see how that goes. But I thought, you know, I figured the night before, I figured a few decent number of people will be off work or whatever. I have no idea. I don't really know how that works. The 4th of July thing works. Usually you get the day off, right? Depending on what you do. Oh, man. Let's see how many books we got assigned tonight. Let's take a quick look at that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 books assigned tonight. That ain't bad. That's not bad. And if you're hearing this and you want a copy of this book, let me know. I don't care if you get this 5 years from now. I'll probably still have copies for sale. It's $15. That covers your shipping. And if you buy it tonight, I'll sign it right now, live. We'll make a whole fuss over you. You'll be the center of attention. You will have the intense love and adoration of as many as 3 people at the same time. You can't beat that. Okay, we're going to stop fooling around when it hits that 6:40 mark. And I'm going to just do an intro and start reading. Sound good? This was kind of an intro, but we'll do a better one. I also learned that this book is very short compared to the other ones I've written. So I could theoretically breeze through this in an entire evening, or in a short evening in an hour. I think it took me like 45 minutes to read it today for rehearsal. Yeah, I rehearsed. I do. Sometimes. I usually rehearse. I usually do at least one. For these, I do like one run through. If I'm reading in person, I usually do a couple more, because that's a different thing. All right, my wife's here, so it's just like any other debate. All right, well, let's start it. Let's get this show on the road, as they say. Good evening. My name is Gabriel Ricard. I'm a writer. I've been a writer for over 25 years. I've been doing this for a long time, and this is my 12th book. We have waited long enough. It is a split chapbook with Kevin Ridgway and James H. Duncan, two of the best writers in any era, but certainly two of the best writers that I've ever known. And two guys who make me laugh, two guys who have amazing perspectives and stories and histories, and we all like different sections of the bookstore, but we all have other sections that we like too. Like, it's that kind of thing. And to write a book with people like that is just so cool. I don't mean to be simple about it, but it was just incredible and surreal how fast and terrific this was. And especially because I didn't know what I was going to write when I sat down to write it. It was just James writes a poem, goes to me, I write a poem, goes to Kevin. And then we would circle back and do a few. We did like 3 or 4 passes of 5 poems each. Five poems per pass. So, and then when I got James's stuff, I didn't, again, no idea what I was going to be doing. But when I got James's stuff, I saw a sentence that just stuck with me. Like, for the life of me, I can't remember what it was now. And I feel bad saying that, but something in his first or second poem or third, just caught me right away, just like stayed in my head, and I wrote it down, and I'll try to figure it out while I'm reading the book because it's gotten a little blurry. And I wrote it down, and I started building on my first poem on a line from his, and I just kept going like that. And I let that set the course of where I was going to go with these poems and what I was actually going to write about, because I wasn't really sure about that either. So I get these poems, and I start writing them at the pace of just whatever I just start taking a line from that, and I build a whole poem around it, and I just keep going, and it just kept going like that. I found myself moving at a pretty good pace. I'd get my stuff done, and then Kevin would get it done his pieces done quickly, and it just flew right through. I don't think we spent more than 3 months on this book. It sure feels like it. But I found myself going in a very particular direction. I found myself going to my romantic life with a little stop off into, yes, I had a sex life. It's true. I did. And I even wrote a couple of mildly saucy poems about it for this book. It was just kind of a weird, I just kind of was thinking about relationships and thinking about the way I've treated women, the way women have treated me over the years, and I've written about that quite a bit already, but building poems from stuff that was written by Kevin and James allowed these ideas about women's stories and mixing up stories and anecdotes and everything else and fantasy, just kind of swirling it all together. It all came specifically out of the idea of building a poem off of a line from James or a line from Kevin, and just going like that, because that took me in a different direction with ideas I'd written about before. So I do repeat myself in this book a little bit, but I think the angle that I came at these poems from has given me some of the most enjoyable poems I've ever written. I don't know if you're going to like them. I hope you do, but I'm particularly fond of these poems. I love all of my books, but this one has had such a unique creation process, much like the Ludicrous Split books. But this was different because James is a different guy, and we just took a different approach. This was not written the way the Ludicrous Split books were written. So we're going to read some poems, and we're going to sign some books. I have many copies. I've even got, if you're feeling loose, copies of 3,000 Miles to Face the Music Land, my other book that came out this year. How about that? 2 books in 1 year. I don't get it either, but here we are. So we're going to read a little, we're going to sign a little, we're just going to go back and forth like that, and then we'll be done. And that's our evening. Could be worse. Well, I say that. No one's here. Maybe I said the wrong day. Maybe it was all my really fun social media posts. Who can say? I know people are just busy. Like, I'm being very facetious. Anything negative I say about no one being here is just me deflecting, like, I don't know, the weirdness. Because it doesn't feel bad, but it always feels weird. Like you're just kind of talking to yourself. And again, there's nothing, I don't have an issue with that, like in an embarrassing way or anything. Like, people are busy. Or they don't give a shit. That's valid too. So, you just go.
4th of July.
It's the what?
It's the day before 4th of July.
It's the day before 4th of
July.
Yeah, I thought people might be home. But I happen to know some people.
Don't wait.
Oh, Brandon Ross is watching. We are officially up to 2 people.
Yay.
Wow. Hi, Brandon. It's good to see you. You didn't buy a book, but it's good to see you. And I only say that because it would be nice to sign something for you on the. Make sure you click on Gabriel Ricard.
All right.
Make sure you click on Gabriel Ricard face invite to see the live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think that was an issue?
Yeah, when I went to click the notification, it brought me just to the page that you invited people to. And then it took me a while before I scrolled down and it finally loaded your stream.
Let me see. Oh, there's Brandon saying nice things. Cigarette works for you. Oh, I forgot.
You do have one in your ear?
I do have one in my ear. Let's share the live video and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Who that? That's a biting fool. It's our one bitey ferret. Delia, Papa's reading. Okay. Let's. Now I keep almost starting to read. We're gonna start reading. Why do the comments go upwards? That's annoying. We also just kind of recirculate the message because apparently clicking on this is a pain in the ass. Again, thank you, Facebook. I ask so very little of you. To be fair, I don't pay for it, but I don't know. I feel like I've kicked in a pretty high psychic price. I think we all have. So yeah, these are very much in the theme of women and romance, but it's very, very, very sarcastic and a little maybe depressing. No, depressing's not the right word. I'll let you decide. But it's the kind of thing I think you'd probably expect from me. But bearing in mind that these are all just amalgams of things. There's different. Most of these poems are about multiple people from real life and dreams, and not literal dreams, but it's a mix of things. So if you think you're in this book, you might be, but not necessarily all the time or where you think. It's as close as I can get to being clever. We're going to read one. We're going to read the first one, and then Aaron is watching. Hi, Aaron. You've been coming to these things like crazy lately, and I appreciate it. We're going to read the first one, though, and we're going to sign some books. We have 8 to sign. If you want to buy a book, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments, and we'll sign it live. You ever had something signed live? Well, I don't think it's better than sex, but it's better than it's better than a lot of things that people say are better than sex. Take that as you will. Okay. We have waited long enough. Indeed we have. This is called Glisten with Silence. Glisten with silence, or you can vibrate with stillness. It's basically the same because no matter what, it's going to be 100 degrees in this used bookstore for as long as we can stand to wander with purpose and move through the rows of poorly stacked books and shelves with half a library in an alternate dimension where I can't say for sure what's going on over there, but when was the last time you heard so much laughter? We need to travel further or just get out of here. How many more August nights can we really stand each other? How long until you're going to get tired of me? I want to find the novel your father wrote, mostly because it's worth a lot of money, but also you told me there's a whole chapter about his grandfather dying of a coke overdose on a retro-style hunting trip. Because guess what, baby? The 70s really were a long time ago. And those are the sorts of things you say about the people before us who went to hell with the best Canadian optimist intentions. But you know all of that. And I don't imagine we're going to find your dad's book, so I'm keeping quiet. I want this first date to go well and to see you first thing tomorrow morning without having to travel very far. I brought us to the only used bookstore in Central Virginia that offers dozens of soft, sweet, horrible voices from every wall and relatively reliable interdimensional travel because I said I wanted to kill some time. But the truth is, I have no idea what to do with someone who doesn't get Suns Out Fun Stout at 4 in the morning. And I'm just killing time while the floodwaters downtown start moving uphill for no fathomable reason. It's still raining, but yeah. We've already talked about that. Twice. The bookstore is the original Chop Suey Books in Richmond, Virginia. It was a big, unwieldy building with, I think it was like 2 or 3 floors. It was definitely a couple of floors. And the narrowest walkways. It's just, an absolute fucking danger in every possible way. The best. A black cat lived there constantly. And it's just about... If the poem's about anything, it's about the tendency I've had over the years to sabotage myself on the first date. I didn't have a ton of second dates. Well, But yeah, that's the first poem in the book. And these run in the order that I wrote them in. So I wrote that poem and I thought, shoot, this is actually pretty good. I didn't know what I was going to come out with. I didn't know if I'd be happy with it. I was feeling a little burnt out. But I wrote that first poem, and I distinctly remember telling Kara that I thought, yeah, I could do this book. I didn't have the structure that we'd have with Ludicrous Split books, which is always music or pop culture. Like, these were, balls out. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I did not forget a pen. No, I didn't. All right, let's sign a book. This one, I could be better organized. I'm sorry. This one's going out to Jenny Rebecca. Hi, Jenny, if you're watching. Jenny bought this before... I believe Jenny bought this the night I did a reading and announced that the book was out and that I was getting copies, but I didn't know when. And she kind of just jumped into it, which I appreciate. One of my most consistent supporters, and it's not a contest or anything, but she's bought literally every book. She's one of my great champions and one of the reasons why this is fun to do. And if you're watching, it's true. You're one of the reasons why this is fun to do. Everyone is, but there's something about someone who's just always there. It's really cool, and I'm grateful for everybody who's there at all. But especially for people who she didn't even know what the bloody book was about. And I appreciate that. If I could get 100 more people exactly like that, we'd be onto something. So we're gonna sign this to Jenny. What do you say to somebody who's bought 10 of these or whatever, however many books I've written? I always get mixed up because I had so much in production in the last 2 years that I've occasionally lost track. How's that for a humble brag? What are we gonna write? What do you think we should write? I didn't think about this. And if people are good, I'll bring a ferret on camera. I did say hi to Aaron. I say this about Jennifer. I don't actually know which one she prefers. I say this about her every time we meet. But one of the only good things that happened to me in Charlottesville was that we had a date. We had one date. And it was one of the best days I had in the time I was there. So you can imagine how grateful I am. The date, the date didn't go anywhere, but you can imagine how grateful I am that we have kept the friendship all these years. In my life, I have almost always been down to be friends. I can't think off the top of my head if there was somebody where it just couldn't be a friendship. Yeah, there's been a couple, but that's okay. No one's perfect. Shall we read another? We shall. We must. Let's see if there's any. Hi, Aaron. Kara said hi too, I guess. Oh, hi. I did say hi. Everybody has said hello to everybody. Okay. Let's read another. We shall. We must. We should probably read one of the saucier ones before my sister gets here, if she's coming by. Emily, if you're in the chat, let me know, because, at the end of the day, it's fine, but like I said, this one leans a little, and obviously my sister bought a book, and that's fine, but there's something about reading stuff about, showering that, I don't know, something about saying it out loud. Like, would you say that to your mother? Probably not. Actually, my mom used to call me smegma breath to give you a sense of the sort of affection we had for each other and the kind of love language we have. Okay, let's read another one. And I think if there's any line that might have started me off that I know Kevin wrote, that started this whole idea off of riffing on a line and then building a poem on that, it might be the title of this next poem, which also starts my pretentious new habit of having two titles for things, because I'm bad at picking titles and I've cheated and found a way to do both. The fuck you have, buddy, you're probably saying, but that's okay. And the line, which is the title, is sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you. That's an expression. I don't know where it started, but I know it's in the Big Lebowski. And I know it's in one of Kevin's poems. I believe it's the title of one of his poems. And if I had to guess the first line that inspired me to do the book the way I did it, it was probably that one. Because I've seen that poem a few times around online, and it always... Or I've seen him say that title or something to that effect, and the line stays with you. It's a good line. Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you. Or, how to avoid personal trauma and growth in the city on a Wednesday morning. There's something about Washington, D.C. in December, and the way it's part of being tired because either you're a piece of shit who won't stop drinking and making another breathtaking girlfriend cry, or because some people really do turn 53 when they're 29 and have been going on the road for the dumbest fucking reasons for 10 plus years and counting. Something about a shot of bourbon for the morning coffee that gets the two of you to the metro stop that takes you all the way to Farragut North. You're supposed to be going to the coffee shop to work, and listen, maybe you do for a couple of hours, but it's all so boring by 10 a.m., and you're already tired of freelance and writing novels and poems that are never getting published. Not ever. And you're tired of Lewin being such a prominent ghost for a movie that just came out a couple of weeks ago. And anyway, he's a folk singer, and that was in the 60s, and you're going to be different because you don't care if you live to 30. And you don't care if you miraculously stay on the convention circuit for the miraculous 5 years you live past 30. So you're buying out 6 or 7 airplane bottles from wherever, because there's no sense in being loyal to brutalism or whatever passes for architecture in that part of town. You're leaving Farragut North on the red line for the long ride on a test of wills to save at least 2 of your 9 airplane bottles for whatever fucking movie you're planning to see. It wasn't a great day at the office, but at least in the year of someone's desperate wandering lord 2013, you can get day drunk at a movie theater that's empty but for the cops and theater manager getting ready to try a sexy new way to get you to leave. And it almost rhymes with wretcheder and wretcheder. No one actually got hurt, but your girlfriend is pissed, again. And it looks like you might be single soon. again and again. The movie I'm specifically thinking of is the second Hunger Games, which was the only thing playing at the theater, and which I saw and almost didn't make it through because I was so fucking bored. No offense if you like those movies. Yeah, not for Carl Carlson. Although it's top 10 villain performance for Donald Sutherland, probably. It's amazing how scary that guy could be with just a voice and body language. Just, yeah, God, we've lost so many good ones. Speaking of which, tonight is loosely dedicated, if you'll allow me, to the late Michael Madsen of Reservoir Dogs and other movies. Reservoir Dogs and Free Willy in the same year. That's called Range Baby. He also wrote a couple of books of poetry, if I'm not mistaken. I've never read them, but I can guess. He seemed like a Charles Bukowski kind of guy. Nothing wrong with that, but it gets a little tiring after a while. I wanted to be like I didn't want to be a writer drunk. I wanted to be like a Peter O'Toole drunk. You know, that was the dream. That's what I saw in my head when I was drunk. I'm kidding, I didn't, but that's what the kind of drunk I would have wanted to be. So yeah, that's what that's about. That's about a guy who just is not getting his life together and doesn't know what he wants to do and doesn't know if he even cares. And I was spiraling, for sure. 2013 was a bad year, brother. 2014 wasn't much better either, but it got better as the year ended. So there's that. But yeah, 2013 was bad. And I wasn't the easiest person to be around in those days. So if you were dating me between 2011 and 2014, I apologize. If you happen to be watching. Yeah, let's sign some more books. What time we got? 7:02. Maybe we can sign one more. Yeah, I don't know who did this cover. I should probably figure that out. Cover art, View from a Window by Arthur Siegel, 1930. I'll have to look that guy up. Because this is more of that Raymond Carver vibe I was telling you about. I love this cover. I love this cover, man. I love doing ideas for the covers of my solo books, but there's something about somebody else just grabbing that and taking that, and the end result is something that's spectacular. It was like that with Dan Wright as well. Okay. We're going to sign a book. That's what I said. That's what I claimed. We will sign a book to Carol Lewis. Carol is another lovely person who is always there to support the work, and I appreciate you, Carol. Carol is my brother-in-law's mother, and I've never met her. I don't believe so, but I sure like to someday because she seems like a really nice lady. Maybe we should tell her. I'm going to say, you're really neat. It's true. Thank you for everything. It's just fun signing your name. Like, what's up? Oh, Frankie's on. Frankie's here. Since I have him here, since he's here, we'll look at that for just a moment, because that is a painting by Mr. Frankie Matt. Frankie Matt being the man who also edited and did the cover art for Clouds of Hungry Dogs. We have that hanging in our house because in our living room, it is our centerpiece of the room, because it is one of the coolest paintings I have ever seen with my own two eyes. Kara in particular fell in love with it. We had to have it. And it took fucking forever to get that thing framed. But we did. And by God, it is stunning. And I appreciate you so much, Frankie, and I'm glad you're here tonight. And thank you, Carol, for buying a book. Okay. Golly, there are so many movies we need to watch. Yeah, there are. Emily Kite's here. She might be drunk, so Everybody, she said that. Those were her words. She might be 30 sheets to the wind. There are so many movies. Yeah, Michael Madsen. If you want to see Reservoir Dogs, is obviously the good one. I got to think. I was completely caught by surprise. Although given his lifestyle, I guess I probably shouldn't have been. My one Michael Madsen thing that I could say was when I did Frost Nixon. This is one of the 2 or 3 times I got to do something that was kind of cool, and it actually came off. At the end of every night for Frost Nixon, we'd all come out for our bows, and I felt weird just walking back to the stage, or walking to the backstage, because it was kind of a long walk from where I stood, and it just felt awkward. So every time I left, I would do the Reservoir Dogs dance, because the song playing was Stuck in the Middle with You. That was the song we played to close out the show. So I would do the little dance, right in the middle, and I got a big reaction for it every night. It was really cool. So thanks, Michael. All right, let's sign a book in a minute. Yeah, we almost have half of double digits, brother. I'm taking it back. I'm taking brother back. Just in case anybody wants to know about that. 4 people. Holy shit. All right, let's read another one. Let's drink some water because my throat hurts. Apparently you smoke for 23 years, your throat gets a little spicy. Hi. Nope, unit. Can't bring a fair on camera if they don't want to come over here. She did come over here for a second, but she wants snack. Alright, let's read. Oh, it's a fucking mess. Let's make sure we're doing the right. Yeah, okay. Oh, I took all the little bookmarks out. Fair enough. I read through these and I was going to pick 4 or 5, and then I realized I could read the whole book in 45 minutes, which, again, we're probably not going to do, because I got to leave at 8 o'clock, or maybe a little after that. We got to get the book signed. And we got to read poems, if I can just shut up and read one. Let's do We Have Waited Long Enough, or Sinful Songs for Silly Cathedrals. But first, Delia, what are you doing? Oh. Nope. You're out of your fucking mind if you think I'm letting you go. You're out of your mind. You're absolutely crazy. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Go away. There you go. Now I gotta make sure she doesn't bite me, because she's our bitey. Fucking hell. I wish dearly people could have seen that. She just did a jump and from the couch to the table, and she kind of went like this and just immediately dropped. Yeah, she's in a mood. I don't know why. She had a great day. This is called We Have Waited Long Enough, or Sinful Songs for Silly Cathedrals. You have turned the curtains into splinters, the chairs into gowns, and I'm going to let you know how I really feel by sitting in the living room, drinking beer with a whiskey chaser. I can be a crazy mixed up kid in this crazy world too, and realizing that the traveler in my dreams, warning me about the future, is my grandson. And you have to wonder how bad it all gets later on if he's willing to ignore what thousands of screenings of Back to the Future told him. Or the traveler is just a traveler. And I'm just hoping there's something to all this business of death and my mother and my brother and everyone else who may or may not be napping gently and perpetually in an ocean of darkness vast enough for 1 million photographs of the love I have for them, represented as being to the moon and back again. And the year doesn't matter, the time, the place, the bedrooms for children who live in the walls and talk about the 1920s like it's going out of style. I walk past the bathroom. You're screaming in the shower with your clothes on. I go out to the garage and suddenly I'm out of breath, and it's 30 years back, and I've been running everywhere to find my dad. Who can say why? I don't have a lot of wisdom at 43, and you don't have any reason to love me. But you don't actually see me very often anymore, so I've been hoping you'll eventually start to miss getting up at 7 p.m. to waste our community college prime on the Hollywood Hills. No one made nudity and crass, desperate boredom at 3 a.m. quite as much fun as you. That is what I would like to call an alternate timeline poem. It's imagining a life I could have had if I had, not met the person who might be my soulmate. Shit, it's true. I tell people that now because I don't give a fuck. I don't believe in soulmates, Gabe. I don't care. I don't care. I do. At least I do now. And my soulmate's in the other room, so cram it. Let's sign a book. Okay, let's sign a book. Because we got to get through like 6 more of these before 8:10. I'm not staying much longer than that because I've got stuff to do. Not really, but Kara's going out of town tomorrow for a 4th of July thing with her family. She's going to be gone all weekend, so I want to hang out with her for a minute. I gotta go to bed. We go to bed early around here. I go to bed at like 10 o'clock. Who are we signing this to? Emily. My sister, I love you. I hope that we can all hang out sometime, maybe in this decade. And not in reference to the passing of a family member. That would be cool. We all just hang out, like, for an afternoon and no one dies. I like it. I like it. What do you say to somebody who's, you made her first like 10 years of her life a living hell? Emily's like, the first 10? Thank you for being a friend. I'm not really writing that. I started the sentence off at thanks. I always try to write a little message in these. Ricard Ridgway Duncan. Sounds like a terrible law firm. That's the real Ghostbusters joke. Just for you. Okay. Let's read 2. And then we'll sign. We'll sign 3. Let's read 2, sign 3. That makes a certain sense, right? Sure. Okay. This is one of the saucy ones. A little bit. We'll see how that works out. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, Emily's like, Emily Kite is like, I didn't buy a book. No, you didn't, Emily. I'm just kidding. I swear I'm kidding. I don't care. Well, I care in the sense of like, I want the book to sell 1 million copies, but I don't care that, it doesn't influence my adoration of you and your amazing work. Emily Kite is quite a poet. Hopefully you'll have a chance to see that for yourselves one of these days. Okay, we're going to read, this is one of the saucy ones. Well, minimal sauce, but it's there. It's called 5 a.m. Groaning Blues, or Seduced by the Stardust Under the Sky at 5 a.m. With the moon still out in the early hours of a morning where I don't want to get out of my hotel bed, because it means leaving behind the nest of warm blankets around our bodies in the night, in your arms, with the swell of deep ocean calm still rocking us gently in this DoubleTree indulgence. It means getting ready to catch the bus from the graffiti-ravaged storefronts of New Jersey with its abandoned strip malls, filled with emergency room payphones all the way back to Virginia. The long shower where you joined me just as I was thinking about getting out and were promising to see each other soon. Kissing. Shower sex is a nightmare, even when you're young and dedicated enough to fuck someone on any available or unavailable surface. But at least when you're young, you have a little more patience for the things that benefit from hindsight. No one else in our hotel room. Your friends disappeared to sell Freddy Krueger gloves to misanthropic gadabouts at the airport, and maybe find an uncomfortable available surface or two of their own. There was something about love, which in hindsight, I'm sorry for meaning it at the time, and then you had my hands on your hips for as long as we pleased, your hand groping a fresh surprised look out of my face, despite the fact that my eyes were almost certainly closed when I craned my neck downwards to take a nipple in my mouth. If we're not careful, I'm going to miss the bus, because it takes hours to come back to life if you die fucking in a bathroom where the steam from the shower pushes the walls all the way out to the forefront of oblivion, and you're just moving through time with another person wrapped around you. And they say something about getting back under the covers, and you hear yourself say you're going to miss your bus. Get the next one, she says, simply, astonishingly naked, and shockingly fond of me. Did you get the next bus? I'll never tell. A gentleman doesn't kiss and tell. So they say. All right. Another thing in this book that's very, very prominent is aging. Because if you spend 18 hours a day by yourself, you're going to have the odd existential crisis. And by odd existential crisis, I mean one just about every fucking day. So aging is very prominently on my mind. Especially with, death affecting me in terms of the people I lost to, or all of whom who weren't that old at the end of the day. Of all the people I've lost in the last few years, none of them were super old. You had a couple of people in their early 70s, but I don't know. In a good situation, the average life expectancy is a bit better than that. Speaking of life expectancies, hi Nala. She might be doing old lady stuff all over the floor. I don't think I saw her do it though.
I'm just not really going. Oh, come here,
All right, let's read this one because this was.
oh, she did a little. Oh, stop.
This one's called "Prove It All Night," like the tattoo says. Or, we carry this multiverse within our filaments. That's one from James or Kevin. It's when I'm walking you to the door of your hotel room that I'm imagining the next 20 minutes if you let me in. But the fact that I walked with you to the door at all was much, much too desperate. My smile made its own marks of damage on the sides of my mouth because I was tired and out of anything close to acting natural. You were impossibly sweet, and it's not a good look to admit I was staring at your breast the entire time you said goodnight, thank you, and without actually putting words to the evening, no thank you to what we discussed in the elevator, while I was almost ready to let my body fly solo through the valley of blackout darkness. Have to imagine you probably knew I was staring like Lester Bangs trying to find linear notes, hieroglyphics in the rock and roll rubble of the bad news potential of your body, and you had a sense of how disappointing it was probably going to be. Fair. That's fair. And at least this is one of those times where it's possible to keep the medical science miracles of my imagination to myself. Warm days if you make it all the way to 105. Yeah, it's about maintaining a rich fantasy life. Nah, getting turned down is fun. Builds character. He kisses and writes a poem, obviously. Well, again, if anybody sees themselves in one of these, maybe not. That's all I'm saying for legal reasons. All right, I said we're going to read 2, sign 3, right? That's what I said. That's what you said, Gabe. All right, that's what I said. So let's sign 3. we've got Brittany McDermott. Thank you so much, Brittany. Another person who is always there supporting them books. But first, it's Pringle. Hi. 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 What's up? What's up? Okay. Release me, sir. Yeah. Brittany's another person I don't get to see as much as I'd like. And living in Florida has made it certainly more difficult to see people, which I'd call a mixed blessing. 98% of the time I'm pretty content not to be bothered. And, somebody's like, oh, I can't get out that way. Florida's too far, or to, Florida. And I'll go, oh man, it's a real shame. No, I don't. It's just in the sense of not wanting to hang out or talk to people anymore, or moving away from people. All right. Speaking of which, thank you for buying a book, Brittany. Very cool. I will see you soon. We will hang out soon, I promise. Do. What is that sound? Is that, no, not you. You don't sound like. I guess Jonathan's listening to his phone.
Yeah, probably. I'd love to see that.
I just keep hearing it sounds like cartoon characters are having sex. Which I'm not judging, but if it is hentai, turn it down, please. This is a Christian household. What?
You.
Oh. You bet. We're big into Jesus around here. No, he's alright, I don't dislike Jesus. There's that. Alright, let's sign another book, man. This is to Robert V. Aldrich. Robert is an impossibly nice guy, an impossibly cool guy. I don't know if he's still doing panels at conventions. I don't know what he's doing these days. Because Robert, as all right-thinking people should do, deleted his Facebook account, if I'm not mistaken. He deleted it, or he doesn't use it anymore. But he's only on Instagram, and I do not spend any amount of time on Instagram. You'll learn this if you send me a message, because you may not hear from my ass for a couple weeks. If it's important, message me on Facebook. I don't check Instagram a lot. I don't like going there. It's depressing. So he's only ever there, so I'm not there. So I don't know what he's doing these days. But if you happen to go to a convention and you see Robert V. Aldrich's name on the bill, whatever he's hosting, whatever he's doing, go see it. Go read his books. Read what he writes. The man is beyond talented. I've known him for nearly 20 years. He was one of the first people I ever met at a convention. I don't know if he remembers it, but I remember it because I made fun of the way he talked. Well, I didn't make fun of it. I said he sounded like, he sounded a lot like Campbell Scott, the actor. He had that same kind of delivery. Ugh, words. It's a shame we can't let AI just sign these for me, right? May as well. I don't want to talk about AI. Just making a comment. I got nothing to say about it. That's what you want to do, man. Fine. No skin off my nose. Okay, let's sign one more. And then, as mentioned earlier, we also have copies of 3,000 Miles to Face the Music Land. If you'd like a copy of that, let me know. You buy it with the new one, there'll be some kind of ridiculous discount in it. I don't know what that'll be, but it'll be ridiculous. You'll say that. Those will be the first words that you'll say, that's ridiculous. And I'll say, no. For you, you get that discount. Because I need to make money. I'm fine, but yeah, Cultured Vultures is, they're doing stuff. They don't need me right now. And that's okay. And I don't feel like fighting to get, I don't feel like fighting for the jobs that are out there. So if anybody wants to just give me a ridiculous amount of money to write every month, but hey, that's what a Substack's for, right? Certainly not thinking about anything like that. Nope. All right, sign one more, and then we're going to read. This one goes out to Dino Zucconi. I'm saying that right. I always hope I'm saying that right. Dino's another good friend who almost always buys a book. I think he has always bought a book. Dino works for the guys who make the WWE games. And so he gets to do all that cool wrestling stuff all day. He gets to hang out with Paul Heyman. And you name a wrestler, if they've been in the WWE games, he's in the last 10 years, he's probably met him. He has one of the coolest jobs on the planet, and he deserves it, man, because he's the guy you want. He's the guy you want making wrestling games. I know some of those WWE 2K games. I know some they're a little hit or miss, but to be sure, they're being made by real wrestling fans. I can promise you. The new one looks pretty good, but I'm not feeling wrestling much these days. Patreon. I've thought about Patreon. Aaron Hudgens saying Robert V. Aldrich is a lovely guest to have at conventions. It's true. He did a panel. I went to see one of his Transformers panels because he's a big Transformers guy. And it was, I'm at best a casual fan of Transformers. And I almost went out and bought all the DVDs for at least the original run immediately after seeing after his panel. Like, he just filled me with enthusiasm for Transformers that I didn't know I had. And that's the kind of guy he is. But yeah, Patreon's an option. Substack seems to make sense, though. Substack seems to be the one. Patreon might have a bigger audience, but Substack is more centric to writers. Or at least, like, writing, visual medium kind of. I think people do photograph stuff there, too. Who wants to say hi to Delia one more time? Before... Hello. I know you're here to steal one of the plushes on the couch. I'll let you do that, and then we'll show it off. Come here. Don't let go. My daughter. Thank you. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much, Dino. I would love to see you again, man, but you're all the way out in California, where Kevin Ridgway lives. Not in the same part of California, but actually very different parts of California. But nevertheless, I would love to get to California one of these days. That is what I meant. I meant that Emily's here, or that is what I meant, Emily, that Delia's here to steal her plushes. Cynthia Edgen. Hello, Cynthia. It is lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. I had to read the last name because it just took me by surprise. Cool. We might even be close to 10 people. I doubt it, but let's have a look. Trying to keep the audio up too, so let me know if I sound too quiet or 4 people, I lied. Hey, that's pretty good to me, man. Well, if anything, Delia will be back because Mickey and Minnie's set. It's a little stiff set, so she'll be back for the other one. Minnie, she took Mickey this time. She switches back and forth. She's very I guess it's the feminism in her because she gives them both equal. She steals them both equally. It's not just a kidnapped Minnie, damsel in distress situation. What the fuck are you talking about, Gabe? I don't know. Let's read a poem. Crucifixion without a martyr. Or, day drinking at the beach is always a contact sport when you're in love. And in those days, when I was so determined not to finish at least one book that no less than 11 people were eager to read, I didn't mind passing out at the beach every once in a while. You can only fall down so many stairs, so many possible combinations of shrill surprise, and violent consequences to having a temper that dances along the backs of 1,000 airplane crash jokes, with poor impulse control held tight to the desperate chest. So, once in a while, I was ready to do something spontaneous, like fall down in the sand, the acid finally going to work after hearing some strange, graceful voices during a swim in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm also just waiting for the rest of Savannah, Georgia to converge on this beach, a silently screaming throng from the end of every Roger Corman classic with that rare moderate budget, and swallow me up before you realize that trash bag full of Kentucky Gentleman plastic handles and DVDs you smashed to bits that I shoved into the passenger seat isn't me after all. I'm just grateful I kept Gabe 2 in the trunk. You had no idea. It's so funny in hindsight. You just had no idea. And then we went to the beach one morning, alongside the picnic basket I wish I had cared about, and things went the usual way because you're an abusive ragamuffin, and I will always be a brutally dour, mean-spirited alcoholic. And the sound of rock and roll was gone, going and gone, and so forth. About 2 hours after we got there. We'd had another fight. You drove off. Fair. I flexed because my skin is burning and that fucks up the muted enthusiasm of the scratches on my neck that were just starting to heal. You drove off and I've been alternating between tall boys and frozen margaritas that are quickly taking my rent money to a Dick Tracy basement to fucking die, while a man high as a rocket in the furthest reaches of the outer space swings a makeshift dumpster dive iron rod in sharp whips over my head. It's a bit like the helicopter wings that Jacob Singer sees as he's dying in Jacob's Ladder. And as I wonder if my new best friend might also be my biological father, I also wonder if I'm remembering the movie wrong, because I am very, very, very out of the past and away from the present, but also very fucking wasted right now. Yeah, well, some of them are a little easier to figure out than others, right? An equal opportunity plush dealer. That's true. It's not. I pronounced your name. Apparently, I pronounced Cynthia's last name correctly. It didn't seem like a hard one to do. But that's what that's what people say to me about my last name. They're like, "What do you mean people call you Richard?" And I say, "I don't know what to tell you. It's not our best and brightest." Where are we at? 7:34? We definitely have time for a couple more poems. I have 2 more books to sign. Okay. Alright. That sounds pretty good. We can talk some shit for a minute. Oh no. What? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you've got something to do this weekend. Hey, look, if you got 4th of July plans, no judgment, man. If Kara's got 4th of July plans, she didn't choose them. It's one of those family things you can't get out of. And oh darn, I have to be home to take care of the ferrets. Shoot. I'm crushed. Yup, because if there's one place I want to be in the summertime, it's rural fucking Pennsylvania. You think Florida's bad? Brother. Alright. Okay. Did anybody... Because we're going to be getting to the end of the book signing portion pretty soon. If you wanted to buy a book, this is your last chance as far as like a live thing goes. If I sell a whole bunch of books after this for some insane reason, then I'll do another live signing. But usually it's a one and done thing because I don't know. We'll pretend I have something better to do. I don't, but we'll pretend. Okay. Let's do a poem, and then let's do 2 poems, and then we'll sign the last 2, and then we'll call it a night. It's not too shabby. Maybe we'll... Oh, you PayPal'd me. Emily Kite has sent money. What is that? Is that fire? Are those fireworks?
Probably.
Fuck me. I'm sorry, America. You don't get a birthday this year or whatever the 4th of July is. Oh, she said. All right, Emily. Well, congratulations. You get a book, and I'm going to sign it live. What? Emily Kite, of course, is as I said, a fantastic writer. I don't know if she's sending her work anywhere, but makes a man wish he had a literary magazine still, because I'd publish her. I would. She's doing pretty well in the academic circuit, though. So, hey, nobody's reading my poems at college, man. That's not a thing. I've had people at, I've had people at colleges perform theater material I've written, but that's not quite the same thing. Well, thank you, Emily. I can't wait to sign it. I'll sign it in just a minute. I'll sign it after the 2 poems. Let's do 1 poem, actually, because this is a decent long one. And then we'll sign the last 3, and then we'll see what time we're at, and we'll wrap up with 1, maybe 2 more poems. Probably 1 more, because my throat hurts. This one's called Full of California, and I Can't Stand Up. Or the folk singer and the movie star. Can I live in the mean charm of this memory forever? Are we going to be concerned, rolling the eyes until I'm dead and gone and less cringing in hindsight? If I write about wanting to live in the beautiful dream of California's rolling hills and creepy farms for a while, but not actually forever, because even I would get bored of Grindr Men and Tom Waits interviews. And the waiting. My God. I'm full of bourbon on a lot of these Greyhound trips, but it's fine when half of the rest of the bus is buzzed on cough syrup, Miracle Mountain painkillers, and all manner of intrusive thoughts, and I'm reading and listening to music and being calm during the waiting. And the memory also has the benefit of avoiding the jaded gaze and the sick boredom with the idiots who look like elevator buttons and scream like rock and roll stars in a room of almost half a dozen. With the towns that time only pretends to forget because that makes death funnier somehow. Sleeping across 2 seats because the recliner doesn't work. We're just not there yet, man. I'll keep the place in time where none of that shit has come up in conversation. Even if the trade-off is that I'm back to being one of those angry, hungry men who treat taking like a religion that they've only figured out. That only they've figured out. My hand is getting older, but it's gripping the part where I'm still excited about the stretch of frenetic stillness that covers 40 million miles of multiverse between Richmond and the brink of anxious California calm. I'm working on which parts of those memories I'll keep, and which parts are going to go through a mysterious evolution or deconstruction or whatever the fuck I accidentally achieve. Because the rules are different when you're writing historical fiction or confusing brave speakers with movie stars. I'm not a liar. I'm just not focusing on a specific lover this time. And I'm pretending that I was the person I am now way back then. Keep the time. Pass it by building a few million amalgams to make old age even more depressing and vague. As I try to compile the anecdotes I'll take to the grave, as I whisper along to clear away the wreckage of all that lays behind me, all that might lie ahead. This is what I'm planning to do for the rest of my life, and this story might be better if it just ends before I can see the girl's hair in weighted light and the warmth of summer sun that's more Hollywood in the mid-'80s than anything from our unhappy reality. Or some shit like that. So yeah, great. I was also still editing the Greyhound, or the 3,000 Miles book. We were dealing with headaches for that at the time I was writing these poems. And so the Greyhound stuff is still very prominently on my mind. But again, I know there's a lot of... I do feel like I hit a few things I've talked about in previous books, but the way I think I went to them, I got to talking about them, was very different from anything I'd ever done. And unlike some of my poetry collections, there's a very strong theme here. Actually, usually when I write with some other people, when I write with Kevin or whoever, Kevin and whoever else we're working with, there's a theme. I don't know what I'm doing next. Kevin and I have talked, by the way. We're definitely doing another book together. We want to do one with James. We want to do one with Dan Wright. We want to do one just the two of us. You know, we're fools for working together. So I know we're going to start on something this year. I told him I would love to start on something in the fall, start another project. So I would love to get away from some of this stuff for the next book, but we'll see. I say I'm done, and then I find something else to talk about. And I feel like there's stuff here that is pretty unique to the book. One would hope. Okay, let's sign those last three, and then we're going to check our time, and then we're going to read one more, maybe two, and then we're going to go home. Happy birthday, Emily, indeed. Sorry, itchy nose business. Okay, let's sign Emily's. I hope, Emily, you will take the note in this book with a tongue-in-cheek kind of tone, because I'm being a little silly. Hey, somebody's biting. Oh. Hi. Why are you biting me? I see. I see. This is not going to last long. You can't be trusted. Have some ferret butt. There you go. Hi. Are you happy to be up here? I might have to ask you to come get your daughter. Because she can't be trusted. Can you be trusted? Would you trust her? What a stillness. Baby. Do I have to pay more because Delia walked to my book? Yes, you do, actually. We'll talk about that. Hi, I can't put you down because I can't trust you. Perhaps if someone were to come in here and take you.
Hi.
Please. I didn't mean to say it like that. Somebody, anybody. Thank you. My lovely assistant, Jonathan. I just didn't trust her, man. It's the second I put her down, my ankle's gone. All right, let's finish this note. She was very sweet. We all had a very nice moment with her, didn't we? She's very different. She's definitely come a long way since she got here. I don't think she'd ever really been out of her cage before we got her. She was less than a year old, probably 6 months, if that. She might have been 5. She's very young. She's never really been out of her cage. Petco and places like that, yeah, take the ferrets away from their mothers far, far too young. Usually after a couple of weeks, something like that, a month. They should be with them for a little bit, but they get taken away a lot sooner. So Delia's always, and then Delia went straight from that, I suppose, to a cage at Petco, and then the cage of the owner, and then she came here where there were not only other ferrets, there's, she kind of has the run of the place. And that's a lot. This will spoil her run. Particularly her. Okay. Emily, thank you. Truly. I'm going to spend it in the Nintendo eShop. That's what I'm going to do. There's actually some good sales going on. There's a bunch of stuff. I might finally get Undertale. I prefer a physical copy of it, but that's like $60, and I don't have $60. So I might get a digital copy of Undertale and finally play it. I've watched 3 people play that entire game now, the Pacifist run. I'm not strong enough to watch the Genocide run. I'm just not. It's not happening. I can't do it. I've cried at the end of this game every single time. There is no way I can watch the Genocide run. Oh, Emily, you started Animal Crossing again. Cool. I'm working on my island. I'm building a teddy bear themed island, because there's a bunch of stuff for that in the game. It's kind of a cottagecore thing. Kara and I have been working on it. It's fun. And with my Switch 2, I might start a second island. It's always been a dream of mine to start a second island in that game, and just have an island that's like vibes, because I usually work with themes and stuff, and that's been fun. But I've always wanted to have an island that just put a bunch of crazy shit there, or do like one of my older design builds again or something. And I might do that. I just haven't had time. I've shifted to video games a lot in the last few years, and now I'm one of those people who doesn't have enough time for the games that I'm getting. Cynthia will be ordering a copy too. Golly, Cynthia, thank you. That's so exciting. We'll sign that for you as well. Make sure we got enough. Yeah, we got enough. Of course we do. I have quite a few copies. And our friends at Alpine Coast Press were good enough to send me a whole box of these babies. So this is pure profit, man, after media mail. So I was able to do it at a lower price. My books these days are usually $25, but because I got to pay for the books. But I was able to get copies this time, and so that's cool. You buy this book, I'm getting like $10. Because say what you want about America, but media mail still the tits. And that's why it's cool if you buy another book tonight. If you buy 3,000 Miles, my travel essay collection. I've also got copies of all my other books for sale. If you wanted to buy a few, obviously no pressure, but tonight be the night, because the shipping is going to be the same. Okay, so we've got assigned books for Cynthia, Michael, and Wesley. We're going to go a little bit past 8 o'clock, I suspect, because I at least want to read. I want to close out the show with a poem. So let's sign all of those damn books, every last bloody one of them, and then I'll read one more. And as long as I'm out of here by 8:15, I told Kara to come and pretend that she needed me for something at 8 o'clock, but I think we're going to go past that anyway, and I at least want to read. I'm a stickler for routine, so I like to close out with a poem. All right, let's sign some books. Let's lose our pen and sign some books. Did I really lose the pen? It doesn't help when you have like vaping stuff that looks like pens. All right, let's keep that check, so I keep looking over here. All right, Michael Troy Shelton. No one like him, baby. This is the guy. Michael's the guy I've told you about. Who I miss. One of the many things I miss about doing my horror podcast, The Hounds of Horror, is that I'd always get these great comments from Michael, and I get comments from a few people, but Michael in particular would always have these great comments. Chris and I desperately wanted to get him on the show, and it's a bummer that hasn't happened yet, because this guy's got some of the best. This guy's got great insights. I wish this guy would write about horror for a living. I'm glad he's a world-class chef. That probably pays a little better, but this is a guy who could really tell you about a horror movie. And I would love to meet him in person someday, and we could do that. I've got friends in New Orleans. Oh, yes, Brandon, you have a baby. Yes. Well, if anything is good for... This is damn near an ASMR video. Boring poet yammers on into the darkness. If that doesn't put your little one to sleep, I don't know what will. 5 across the eyes. Don't mind me. I've just been really fond of that expression lately. Oh, Emily's here. Good news, Emily. You missed the R-rated poem. So. Oh, Sinners? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't had a chance. I watched... It's amazing, the parts that I've seen. I watched some of it in a watch party. A decent chunk of it in a watch party, and I really liked it. But I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing. I've been taking kind of a break from new movies for the most part. You did. It wasn't anything too crazy, but yeah, I was going to tell you to leave for 5 minutes when I got to that poem. Not that it matters, but give your siblings the option to leave the room, when you're going to talk about sex or something. Why not? The late Michael Madsen was on the record as saying that he wouldn't watch any movie where his sister had a nude scene, and I gotta say, fair enough, Michael. Fair enough, man. Well, your sister's hot, but, Virginia Madsen? I love that she came back. She had that cameo in the newer Candyman. The way they worked that out was really good. Last movie I saw her in, I don't remember what it was, but what it was called, but she was married, she played Patrick Warburton's wife, and it was the only scene, they were in it only at the beginning, and she was giving him a hard time about something that he was doing for Christmas that she perceived as being gay. She was really homophobic, and it was just kind of startling to hear it come out of her. And then Patrick Warburton's response is, she's like, "What made you this way? Was it your secret friend at camp?" And Patrick Warburton just deadpans, "I like gay things." Or no, he says, "I'm allowed to like gay things." And it's just something about that whole exchange. But yeah, another talented person I never see anymore. Dang, what cruddy luck. No, I know. I will see. Brandon, stop crying. I'll see Sinners. I'll tell you what, buddy. You abandon your child and come up here to Florida, or down, whatever it is, and we'll watch Sinners together. No, I'm just, like I said, I'm kind of on a break from new movies. When the universe cancels your two movie columns, right one after the other, and the movie, the medium that you're writing about is everyone's, kind of moved on to other things. It's hard. I don't know. It's that thing. It's a vague midlife crisis-y kind of thing, because it's that thing of I've been doing one thing for so long, nonstop, thousands of movies, 5,000 plus, over 5,000 movies, and you know, you want to do something else, take a break, catch up on some TV shows, that kind of thing. I just strolled in and Sinners was rushed. Like the last 30 minutes is rushed. Yeah, it seemed like a movie because I stopped watching in the last, like, it's funny you say the 30 minutes because I stopped watching in like the last 45 minutes or so because I didn't want to like, because I came in a little late and I didn't want to, like, when I did see the movie I want to just, you know, see it. But it definitely seemed like it was going at a very casual pace for a horror movie, like a slow burn. But I know it's not a super long movie. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know. Watch Bob's Burgers 40 times on repeat for a nice palate cleanser. I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I must say, I've been watching a lot of Game Grumps, Manly Badass Hero, catching up on old cartoons and sitcoms that are just floating around YouTube because all that stuff's on YouTube. Like I've been watching Evening Shade because the whole run of that's on YouTube. Most old sitcoms are on YouTube if they're not super famous. And old TV specials and stuff. I ignored YouTube for like 12 years, so I'm catching up, and it takes a while to catch up on 12 years. Let me tell you. Been watching Jacksepticeye, his horror stuff mostly. Gab Smolder's great. I love her. Yeah, been watching stuff like that. It's been really fun. Haven't watched Markiplier. He kind of bugs me, and that's about as famous as my YouTubers get. So if there's somebody else that, no, the answer is no, I don't watch them. Wesley Mead. Poor Wesley. I gotta send Wesley a copy of 3,000 Miles because UPS inexplicably canceled my 2 books that I was sending to France and England respectively. They canceled the books and then refunded my order. And I don't know what happened. I must have done something wrong with the customs order. I don't know. But I sent out, I've been sending stuff out internationally like crazy lately, so that's not like anything in particular. I think I just did something wrong and I have no idea what it is. Emily, you've been making Calvin Hobbes home movie memes. That sounds pretty good. You do, yeah, YouTube's great. I don't have a lot of streaming services right now. There's a couple I still pay for, but for the most part, I don't. But we do pay for YouTube because, let me tell you, having that stuff commercial free is pretty flipping amazing. Leslie Mead. Just want to make sure I get your name, spell your name right, even though I've known you for like 20 years. Like I'm slowly watching Jacksepticeye's playthrough of Death Stranding 2 because I played the first one a tiny bit and I was terrible at it, so I just decided to recently watch his stream of the first game, and it's quite a game, isn't it? It's cool. I liked it. I like high concept stuff, even when it's a little pretentious. Death Stranding might be the most pretentious video game I've ever seen. Detroit is a close second, but that's also one, again, the high concept thing. And if your concept is ambitious enough, it's just going to sound goofy sometimes. It's like the Cloud Atlas, which I know some people fucking hate that movie because it just is so unbearably pretentious at times, and I agree. but I have such a strange fondness for that film. It might be, no, what is my favorite Wachowski sisters movie? Because it sure as shit ain't The Matrix. Probably Speed Racer. Bound's good too. Those two have had some bangers. I tell you what kind of Matrix fan I am. I thought the new one was great. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a great riff and deconstruction of the original trilogy. Or the other, how many were there? 4? 3? 7? There's quite a few. Hideo Kojima is a fucking freak. I love him to death, though. That could be the new Postmaster thing. No, it's not. Well, I guess it might be flaky for other people. I've been sending stuff internationally like crazy in the last year or so. Up to this month, literally this month, I've sent things to France and Spain that got there without problems. I've sent quite a few things to England in the last 6 months or so that got there without problem. This was some kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'll never figure it out, and that's okay. I've never read the book Cloud Atlas. I have no desire to. I'm sure it's good. I can only imagine what that book is like. The movie's the way it is. And I like that though. It's a weird one for everybody in it. Everybody in it gives some of the strangest performances of their career. At the time, it was cool to see. At the time, it was a novelty a little bit to see Hugh Grant playing that kind of antagonist, that kind of villain. We've seen him do it a lot more in recent years. I know. I even literally told them that I had instructed you to do this.
Yeah, and then you said, no, we're going to go longer.
Yeah, we're going to go to probably like 10 after. I knew you were trying to kiss me. I wasn't. I just want to make sure you were like done. If I can look at the goddamn thing. Thank you. Yeah, we got one more to sign, and then I was going to read one to close.
Alright, hurry up.
Okay. You heard the misses, guys. I'm sorry. Halo says hi. Hi, Halo.
Hi.
Tom Hanks talked about it on Conan's podcast. Did he like doing the movie? Did Tom like doing the movie? Because he's really good in it. And I know that there's some problematic elements to the movie. I have to confess, I know them, and I don't especially care in the context of enjoying them. I know that they're there, but I don't know. It's a case-by-case basis for me. I can overlook something, or overlook's a strong word, but I can take something in, the good and the bad, and you try to do that. And if you do that with controversial movies, so be it. Not for nothing, but Song of the South has got terrible, ideas in it for sure, but it's also got some of the best animation and live action up to that point in time. It's absolutely stunning how good it looks for its time. The live action and the animation, it's incredible. And yeah, it's Song of the South. So it's not Tom Hanks' worst movie by a long shot. That's going to be... What is Tom Hanks' worst movie? I'm going to be edgy and say You Got Mail, because I hate that movie. But no, it'd probably be that Hologram for the King, which was just... Jesus Christ. Have you seen it? Do you remember it? Because I don't. No, I loved him in Cloud Atlas. I thought it was just such a crazy fucking swing, creatively and narratively, and even when it doesn't work, you can say it doesn't work, but I wish people would be more impressed by effort, because I think movies are better when people can make stuff like that, along with the big blockbusters and the movies that cost like $20. Like, once in a while, somebody should get to make a Megapolis. You know what I'm saying? Just some incomprehensible fever dream. Just give somebody $50 million and let them go crazy. I think movies are better when we have that. And I also just think there's some good performances in it, and I love the cast. Wachowski sisters cast their movie. I don't know who does their casting, but like every one of their movies, casting is just perfect. Even the Matrix movies, just absolutely perfect. Mazes and Monsters. Mazes and Monsters. I have a friend who hates Tom Hanks to this day. Like, genuinely hates Tom Hanks because of what they perceive to be the damage that was done to Dungeons and Dragons by the movie Mazes and Monsters. Like this guy actually hates Tom Hanks because of that. That's a long time to carry a grudge. But all right, let's sign our book to Cynthia. Let's read one more poem. Let's figure out a way to fix this. Okay, why did I do this? Let's pretend that's an upside down Y, Cynthia. Okay? When you get this, it's an upside down Y. Not me putting an N first after the first letter of your name. It's a cool Y. Alright? Alright. I'm trying to look at comments so I can see. Because I'm sure I got that wrong. Did the other comments just disappear? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, this thing's the worst, man. Alright, whatever. We're gonna assume we got your name right. Let's just run with that. Can I see it? Whatever. Thank you for buying a book, Cynthia. That's the point of this. Greyhound. I haven't seen Greyhound yet. That's a Tom Hanks movie I have not seen. Man Called Otto was great. Money Pit's great. That's one of my mom's favorite movies. One of mine too, subsequently. I think it should have gone a little better for Shelley Long as a movie career. Yeah, so we're going to pretend, Cynthia, when you get your book, it's a cool upside down Y. Definitely not a swastika. It's a cool upside down Y. All right. I'll make sure I remind you that that's what this is. Yeah, he sure was. Tom Hanks also does an absolutely amazing impression of Michael Clark Duncan. I'm not kidding. Go look up Tom Hanks at Michael Clark Duncan's funeral, because he tells a story that Michael Clark Duncan told him about joining a gang when he was a kid and then coming home and his mom beat his ass. And Tom does a Michael Clark Duncan voice to tell Michael's part of the story. And it's hysterical. It's really funny. God, what a cast, huh? Harry Dean Stanton. Yeah, all the good ones. Michael Clark Duncan, also known as the only reason to watch Daredevil. Still can't beat that. Vincent D'Onofrio was a great Kingpin, but you can't beat Michael Clark Duncan. Like, he made that Daredevil movie. The only time I ever catch myself wanting to watch that movie is because I'm like, fuck, Michael Clark Duncan was so good. Like, the part where he's like waiting for Daredevil to come and he's just standing in the building. Yeah, that was good. The one moment in the movie where you were like, oh shit. And that was because he was that kind of actor. Yeah, Green Mile's a tough one. We think Nala might have had an experience with the Green Mile because we were just talking about this the other day. She's living with her second business. She's lived a lifetime long enough for 2 full separate ferret businesses, which is groups of ferrets. So, who else was in the Green Mile? David Morris? I want to say David Morris was in it. That sounds like something he would do. I actually know people who like the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. I do. Unironically, they like that movie, and good for them. there's worse ones, honestly. And I always said this, I'll say it again, there was nothing wrong with Ben Affleck playing Daredevil. It just wasn't the right take on the character. And the movie itself is a mess. Sam Rockwell was in it? Oh yeah, he was, you're right. Wow. What did I just see? I just saw him in something. The guy with the mouse. That was, it's funny. We were just talking about Evening Shade because he was on that. Michael Jeter. He was also in The Stand, I believe. He died, I think that was one of his last movies. I think he died of HIV. I don't remember, but I know he died pretty young. But yeah, great actor. Michael Jeter. Just absolutely amazing. He was also in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He's the guy who is giving the talk at the hotel that's hosting the police convention. And he's like talking about Margaret Mead and some shit. Cancer. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Not that that's any better. Okay. This one's inspired by Orson Welles' best movie, and it mentions the man himself, but it's inspired by his best movie, which is F for Fake. If you watch anything this weekend, I think it's on YouTube for free. If you just type in F for Fake full movie, I think you'll find it. I think it's there. But watch it. It's his best movie. I like it more than Citizen Kane, and I think Citizen Kane's pretty good. I think it's all right. Touch of Evil's good too, but F for Fake is the one of the most profound influences I've ever experienced, and it's also an electrifying movie. It's the one movie I recommend everybody watch on acid. All right. Last poem, and then I'm out of here. It's called Thank You Very Much. We're just going to just out of here. So thank you. Thank you 1,000 times for being here tonight. Thank you for buying books. I had fun. I swear to God I had fun. It actually was fun. And I appreciate you all. The same guy who played Toombs in X-Files. Yes. Yeah. That guy. I know who you're talking about. Patricia Clarkson was also good. I believe James Cromwell is the warden of the prison. Just a stacked cast. That's another one by the Walking Dead guy who also did The Mist and Shawshank Redemption. He has a real Stephen King thing. Alright, this is called, we could talk about movies all night. But anyway, The Queen Mary Docked, or How Many Times Can You Hope the Sex Will Be a Nine Inch Nails Song in Motion? I've never retreated into a wilderness of alternative thought, but I have tried to emulate the whiskey, weed, and Warren Zevon credo, as though I'm even partially as charmed or charming as fictional characters with a shocking knack for surviving the worst of seasons 1 through 9, with maybe some wretched eyes and a bit of that hollow skin you get around 45 years old. Maybe they don't sleep too good at night. Sometimes they write them like that. Nothing alternative about me. I'm just good at talking and talking and talking and talking and talking until she looks at me with eyes that would destroy a good cinematographer and whispers something to the effect of, "If we fuck like cartoon Vikings on the roof of my apartment building, will you please, 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 pretty please, shut the entire fuck up?" And those were my wild years in a nutshell. And now I'm just another clumsy force of quiet wonder and joy who goes out to the coast to pick up the rest of the stories, looking out in awe because I can see another ghost of a lighthouse, and that's kind of the same thing as putting together The Truth and the Orson Welles Magic Show talking points and saying, yes, yes indeed. It's more or less how it happened. It is more or less how it happened. TV show I'm referencing is Californication. Surprise, surprise, I like Californication. Yeah, that's it. I told my wife I'd be done at 8:15. It's 8:14. We can run down the clock for 15 seconds. I said I was going to leave as soon as I'm done. So I guess we'll do that. Thank you once again. If you would like to buy a book, message me and we will settle up. And I will listen to fireworks and try not to roll my eyes until they pop out of the back of my head. Oh, watching Californication. I can't watch it. It makes me sad. It makes me wistful. It's like the song Drinking in LA. What the hell am I doing drinking in LA? I'm 25. Anyway. Good night.